So for this first thing we're gonna work on the menu, or like the starting, I don't know. Okay, so you wanna make a new sprite. I'm just gonna name it menu, but it won't really matter what we call it. And then you just wanna like do whatever design you want, because as you saw in my other game, I did like how on the bottom I like did the two tanks like fighting, I guess you could say. But I'm just gonna make it a green background because, you know, I don't really feel like doing that right now. And plus that'd make it too long. Okay, so like that. Then you wanna make another sprite, name it start button. And then you could do what I did and like make a tank as like the button thing, but I'm just gonna make it a random color button. Make sure you put this to 0, 0. Okay. So now in the menu, you want to do a when green flag clicked, show. Okay. Then you want to do you want to go to events and make a new broadcast. Name it start. Okay. Now you want to do a when I receive start hide. Then you go to the start button and you want to do when green flag clicked. Well, you can just go to menu and drag this there. Then you want to do you want to get another when green flag clicked. And then you want to do a forever. You want to do an if else. And you can make another sprite. I mean, not sprite. I keep calling it that for some reason. Costume. And you just want to make whatever your button looks like gray. Kind of like this. And then you want to do if touching the mouse pointer. Then if it is touching the mouse pointer, then switch costume to costume 2. But if else, get that, switch here, like 1. Okay, so now you have like a little thing to show you that you're hovering over it. And now we're gonna make the button actually work and do the thing. We'll start the game. So you want to do another when green flag clicked. Then you want to do a forever. Then you want to get an if. Then we get an and from the operators. Then you want to do a mouse down and touching mouse pointer. So this is basically just like a DIY when the sprite click button. And then you want to do the broadcast start. Then you want to do a hide. Then you want to do a stop the script. Okay. And then you can come into the backdrop and switch it to like a grass color. I'm just gonna make it darker so that it doesn't look like the menu screen. Okay. So now if you click the button, boom. You basically have your menu, but yours is of course hopefully gonna look better than mine, because mine's just a one rectangle and a green background. So now we're gonna work on the tanks and we're gonna work on the walls, and I think that's gonna be the end of the first part. So what you want to do is make another sprite, and you want to name it Tank 1. And I'm just going to make mine like a dark blue. You can, of course, make yours, well, you don't have to, but if you want to, you can make yours look like a tank. I just don't want this to be long. This tutorial to be long. So now, oh wait, this is going to be the hitbox, so you want to make another sprite. You want to make another costume, and I'm just going to do text that says tank. Here's my tank. Make sure to center it too. Okay. So now you want to go to the code and you want to you're going to make a few variables. So you can delete my variable with that variable. And then the first one, you want to make old X P1. P1 stands for player 1. You can hide that. And then the next one, you make old Y P1. And then you can hide it. And then you want to make another variable, name it game active. And then you want to do when green flag clicked, go to negative 184 Y0. And you want to do a point in direction 90, and you want to do a set old X player 1 and set old Y player 1 to X position and Y position. What this will do is it'll make it whenever you hit the wall, you'll just go back to your old position, so you'll just basically stay there. And now you want to make another, you want to make another, actually no, you can use start. Whenever you start, you want to forever, you want to get 4 ifs, so like 4 of these if-thens. And this will be the movement. So you want to get key. For the first one, you want to do W. For the second one, you want to do S. And then for these last two, you want to do A and D. Okay, so now you want to make another variable, call it player 1 speed for all sprites. And then go to, also make sure all of these are for all sprites. And then you want to go to backdrop, and then when green flag clicked, set game active to 1. And then you want to do a set player 1 speed to, I found that 2 is probably the best, but of course you can always change it to however you want. And now you want to make a block. You want to go to tank 1 and you want to make a block. You want to name the block detect collision. Then you want to do run without screen refresh. So now you want to do detect collision, and you want to do a move player 1 speed steps. And then you want to, in the S, you can copy these two. Then you want to go to operators, and you want to get a times, put the player 1 speed here, and then put -1. And then that'll make you go backwards. And then in this one, you want to do turn left 5 degrees. Yeah, 5 degrees. And then in this one, you want to do turn right 5 degrees. Oh, that's 54, 5. Okay. And then you want to do a when green flag, in the when green flag clicked, hide. And then when I receive start, show. So boom. Now the tank moves, but we need to add the collisions. So you want to make a new sprite. You can name it like walls, I don't know, anything really. And then you want to just make it any color you want, and just make like your obstacles wherever you want. Set it to 0, 0. Okay. So now we can do the collisions. So go to the code and tank, and then you want to do a if else under the define detect collision thing. Then you want to do an or here. Then you want to do touch and color. And then you want to get the color of your wall. So in this case, mine's like a dark purple, kind of. And then you want to do or touching. You can duplicate this tank 1. And then you want to do tank 2. And then you want to do go to XY. Old X P1 for X and old Y P1 for Y. So now we can do tank 2. So change this to 184, and then we need to make 3 new variables. Old X P2, hide it. Old Y P2, and then player 2 speed. And you can hide that. And I change this to old XP2. And change this to old YP2. And change this to player 2 speed. Same with this. And then you can change this to tank 1. You can go into backdrops and you can do set player 2 speed to 2. And you can change this to like a red. Okay. Oh yeah, also you want to go in here and then when green flag click, hide, and then when I receive start, show. Okay, so now it should, hold up, let me fix you need to go into here and you need to, okay, we just need to finish the collisions. So you want to go back and then you want to do a set in the else, set old X player 1 and set old Y player 1 to X position, and Y position. Okay, so now, yeah, you should have collisions. Now you can go to tank 2 and you can do, you can go to tank 1, you can get this code. You can just take this whole thing, bring it to here, take that one out, put this one here, and change this to tank 1, change this to old Y player 2, and change this to old X player 2. Change this one to old X player 2, and this one to old Y player 2. So now if you click start, oh yeah, so you want to change this to up arrow, and change this to down arrow. You want to change this to left arrow, and you want to change this to right arrow. So now they have their separate movements and they both collide, yeah. So let's see, we need one more line of code. So we need to do a when I receive start, switch costume. This is going to be the hitbox. Switch costume to costume 1. And then you want to do forever. If else. Again, if else. Then you can come here and duplicate this. And then you want to change, you want to point in direction. You want to make another variable. So since we're on tank 2, old direction P2. And then if you're on tank 1, because I just forgot to switch, you would just name that old direction player 1. And you change this to tank 2. Okay. So point in direction, old direction player 2. Then you want to do a in the else set old direction player 2 to direction. So basically, if you're like turning, hold up, let me reset it. Basically, if you're trying to like, hold up, if you're trying to turn into the wall, you won't be able to. Okay. So now I'm pretty sure we just need to duplicate this into tank 1. Or vice versa if you started with, oh yeah, and then one more thing in here, switch to costume 2. And switch to costume 2. And then you want to make another variable, old direction P1, hide, change this to old direction P1, old direction P1, Okay. And I think that should be it for this. Oh yeah, change this to tank 2, of course. So now, if we do this, it's on costume 2. We can't get out. I mean, we can't turn into the wall. Hold up. Let me try that one more time. Okay, never mind. And then if you go into the other tank, you can't reach them. So, this should be it for part 1. I guess I'll see you in part 2. Peace.